The Houthis did the unthinkable. On July 27, 2025, at exactly 5:23 p.m., 7S-6 missiles tore through the Yemeni desert sky. Their infrared seekers locked onto two F-35C Lightning, two fighters soaring from the USS Harry S. Truman. As if that wasn't bold enough, a swarm of 20 Shahed 136 drones, supplied by Iran, erupted from the shadows of Bab el-Mandeb Strait, buzzing like a storm of angry hornets toward the American jets. The Red Sea, a vital artery for global trade, churned below under a crimson sunset, its waves hiding a deadly intent. This wasn't just an attack, it was a direct assault on the heart of U.S. naval air power. A reckless gamble to cripple the world's most critical maritime corridor. The Houthis, emboldened by Iranian tech, thought they had the perfect shot to bloody the American Eagle. But they were about to learn it was their biggest mistake. Inside the cockpit, the pilot's screens flashed, red missile lock warnings screaming. The air felt electric, charged with the weight of imminent danger. Each F-35C, a marvel of stealth and precision, was now a target in a high-stakes game. The Houthis aimed to disrupt billions in global commerce, from oil tankers to cargo ships, betting they could outmaneuver America's unmatched air dominance. Welcome to Navy Air Force, where we dive into the raw pulse of modern warfare. By the way, where are you watching from? Drop your city or state in the comments below. What would you do if you were the pilot, staring down a swarm of drones and missiles? Stick with us as we unravel this clash, a spectacle of fire, steel, and American resolve. Remember, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All scenarios are simulated and based on publicly available information, not official reports. In mere moments, the Houthis' audacious move would ignite a response that would reshape their fate, send shockwaves through global markets, and reaffirm U.S. supremacy. Let's find out what happened next. The Red Sea glowed under the fading sun of July 27, 2025, its serene waves concealing a brewing tempest. Near the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a vital choke point for global trade, the USS Harry S. Truman carved through the water like a steel colossus. This nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, stretching 1,090 feet and housing 5,000 crew members, stood as America's iron fist in the region. Its deck bristled with two F-35C Lightning II fighters, each armed with the AN/APG-81 radar, capable of tracking threats at 300 miles with surgical precision. High above, an MQ-9 Reaper drone patrolled in silence, its sensors sweeping for hostile signals. An MQ-25 Stingray, a cutting-edge unmanned platform for ISR and refueling, circled nearby, streaming live data to the carrier's combat center. EA-18G Growlers, equipped with ALQ-184 jamming pods, prowled the skies, ready to blind enemy radar with electronic fury. Below, a Virginia-class submarine lurked unseen, its Tomahawk missiles locked and loaded. This wasn't just a patrol, it was a fortress safeguarding billions in global commerce, where 15% of the world's oil flowed daily. Across the Yemeni coast, near Hodeida's rugged hills, the Houthis plotted their strike. Backed by Iran's deep pockets, 30 fighters manned a deadly arsenal. 7S-6 missiles, screaming at Mach 2.8, 20 Shahed 136 drones, buzzing at 185 kilometers per hour, and Quds 3 cruise missiles designed for chaos. Their trump card was the Bavar 3-7-3, Iran's knockoff of the Russian S-300, a mobile air defense system meant to thwart retaliatory strikes. Hidden in bunkers and camouflaged trucks, these weapons targeted the Red Sea's shipping lanes, aiming to choke a lifeline that powered global markets. The Houthis weren't mere bandits, they were a calculated threat, emboldened by Tehran's technology and training. Their audacity grew from months of escalating attacks, testing America's resolve. The calm sea hid a storm of steel waiting to erupt. As the U.S. naval force stood vigilant, the enemy's boldness was about to collide with a superpower's unmatched might. The stage was set for a clash that would echo far beyond the horizon. At 5:23 p.m. on July 27, 2025, the calm patrol shattered into chaos. From a hidden bunker near Hodeida, Houthis unleashed 7 SA-6 missiles, their seekers homing in on the two F-35C Lightning II fighters. The missiles streaked upward at Mach 2.8, cutting through the twilight sky like vengeful arrows. The pilots, scanning from 30,000 feet, saw their radar warning receivers light up red. Missile lock! Deploying countermeasures. One pilot barked over the comms, slamming the stick into a 9G turn that pinned him to the seat. Flares burst from the jets, creating brilliant decoy clouds to confuse the infrared guidance. The Growlers nearby activated their ALQ-184 pods, flooding the air with jamming signals that scrambled the missile's fire control links. But the Houthis weren't done. Just as the F-35Cs leveled out, an unexpected swarm of 20 Shahed 136 drones emerged from the coastal haze, racing at 185 kilometers per hour. These Iranian-supplied kamikaze weapons, loaded with explosives, fanned out in a coordinated assault, dodging low over the waves to evade radar. The sky turned into a deadly hornet's nest, with the drones weaving through the missile trails. "Swarm incoming! Evasive now!" the lead pilot shouted, diving sharply to 15,000 feet. The MQ-9 Reaper, flying support, maneuvered to draw fire, its Pandora system deploying chaff bundles in rapid bursts. Growlers intensified their jamming, targeting the drone's command frequencies, causing several to veer off course and plunge into the sea. Houthis tried to shield their assault with a Bavar 373 system, their copy of the S-300, pivoting to counter the American evasion. But the jamming overwhelmed it, reducing its tracking accuracy. One SA-6 grazed the Reaper, sending it spiraling down in flames, America's first loss of the day, though unmanned. Another missile clipped the right wing of an F-35C, tearing a gash but not crippling the jet. The pilot stabilized it with sheer skill. American ingenuity cut through, as the remaining missiles detonated harmlessly in the chaff clouds. The swarm thinned, with 12 drones neutralized by electronic disruption alone. Yet the damage was done, the Reaper was gone, and the F-35C would need repairs. The pilots regrouped, hearts pounding, knowing this was only the beginning of the storm. How would America strike back? Let's dive in. The moment the SA-6 missiles and Shahed swarm were neutralized, the U.S. Navy's vengeance machine roared into action. Aboard the USS Spruance, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer trailing the carrier group, vertical launch cells snapped open with a deafening hiss. Two SM-6 missiles erupted skyward, their 1,500-kilogram warheads blazing at Mach 3.5. Guided by real-time satellite feeds, they locked onto Houthi launcher sites near Hodeidah, cutting through the night with precision no crude defense could match. These weren't mere intercepts repurposed for ground strikes. Their speed and power obliterated any hope of evasion. The F-35C pilots, undeterred by one jet's wing damage, received the order, vector to target grid, weapons free. Engines roared as the jets climbed to 25,000 feet, releasing LRASM missiles. These long-range weapons, flying at Mach 0.8 with 1,000-pound warheads, hugged Yemen's rugged terrain, dodging radar to shred radar trucks. GBU-38 bombs followed, their GPS-guided 500-pound payload slamming into command posts, collapsing fortified bunkers with surgical accuracy. On the USS Harry S. Truman, flight decks buzzed with urgency. Red-shirted ordnance crews loaded munitions, green shirts fueled jets, yellow shirts waved aircraft into position. A choreography of war executed flawlessly. Below the waves, a Virginia-class submarine, silent at 500 feet, surfaced its periscope for a fleeting moment to confirm targets. 4 Tomahawk cruise missiles launched in a ripple, diving back underwater before bursting skyward. These terrain-following weapons targeted Quds 3 missile caches hidden deep in bunkers, their paths invisible to Houthi sensors. The Houthis scrambled, activating their Bavar 373 system, Iran's S-300 copy. Desperate salvos of surface-to-air missiles arced into the darkness. But A-18G Growlers ALQ-184 pods flooded the spectrum with jamming, reducing the system's accuracy to near zero. The Bavar's radar screens flickered, overwhelmed, as missiles veered off course, detonating harmlessly in the desert. Fireballs turned bunkers into tombs as the strikes landed in relentless sequence. The first SM-6 obliterated a launcher pad, hurling shrapnel across the dunes. LRASM impacts followed, vaporizing radar arrays in blinding orange flashes that lit the coastal hills. Tomahawks burrowed deep, collapsing underground vaults and triggering secondary explosions, a cascade of fire and smoke painting the horizon like a false dawn. Houthis, caught off guard, tried to rally. Operators fired Quds 3 cruise missiles in a futile counterattack, but these were swatted down by the Growlers' electronic haze, their guidance systems scrambled into chaos. Survivors stumbled from wreckage, shouting over crackling radios, only to find their command lines dead, severed by precision strikes. This wasn't revenge. It was a brutal reminder of American dominance. Fireballs engulfed their hidden fortresses. A B-21 Raider, dispatched from a forward base, joined the onslaught. At 60,000 feet, invisible to Houthi radar, it dropped precision munitions on remaining strongholds, crushing concrete and steel. The Houthis' Bavar system, their last hope, sputtered as jamming drowned its sensors. Operators fled into the night, abandoning posts as explosions shook the ground. In under 30 minutes, 10 launcher sites and radar nodes were reduced to smoldering craters. The U.S. Navy's layered assault air, sea, subsurface proved unstoppable, a testament to coordination and technology. The Red Sea's waves rolled on, but the battlefield belonged to America. As the initial strikes subsided, the Houthi survivors, roughly 5 to 10 fighters, scrambled from the rubble near Hodeidah, fleeing into the desert night. But there was no escape. Satellite eyes sealed their fate. High above, the MQ-4C Triton drone circled relentlessly, its electro-optical sensors capturing every movement in high definition. Thermal blooms revealed their desperate dash toward a secondary bunker where they hoped to regroup under the cover of their Bavar 373 system. The Triton relayed coordinates instantly via secure links to the USS Harry S. Truman, where commanders issued a follow-up order: neutralize remnants. The damaged F-35C, now patched for flight, rejoined its wingman for the mop-up. They climbed to 20,000 feet, releasing a final volley of GBU-38 bombs on the fleeing group. These GPS-guided munitions, each packing 500 pounds of explosive, struck with pinpoint accuracy, collapsing escape tunnels and scattering debris across the sand. The Bavar 373 fired a desperate salvo, but EA-18G Growlers jamming overwhelmed its guidance, turning the missiles into unguided duds that harmlessly detonated midair. Now, let's break down the weapons that made this dominance possible. The LRASM, launched earlier from the F-35C, flies at Mach 0.8 with a 1,000-pound warhead, using advanced autonomy to evade defenses like the Houthis' Quds 3 counters. Its low observable design and terrain-hugging path allow it to strike from over 200 miles away, bypassing radar nets entirely. The SM-6 from the USS Spruance, reaching Mach 3.5, carries a 1,500-kilogram payload, repurposed for surface attack to punch through fortified sites. Jamming from the ALQ-184 pods reduced the Bavar 373's effectiveness by 70%, proving how electronic warfare turns superior tech into scrap. This precision not only ended the threat but stabilized the region. Oil prices spiked 5% due to brief Red Sea disruptions, but the strikes cleared the path, allowing cargo convoys to resume safely. Global markets breathed easier, underscoring America's role in securing vital trade. In the smoldering aftermath, the Red Sea's horizon bore witness to American precision. The Houthis' losses were catastrophic. Primary launcher sites reduced to blackened craters, radar trucks charred beyond recognition, and bunkers collapsed into rubble-strewn graves. 25 fighters perished, their Quds 3 missile caches and Bavar 373 defenses obliterated, leaving scattered fragments of Iran's vaunted technology. The Shahed 136 drone swarm, once a menacing symbol of defiance, lay strewn across the desert like shattered relics. Surviving Houthi commanders, reeling from the devastation, faced shattered morale, their radio channels filled with panicked whispers of retreat. On the American side, the toll was negligible, no lives lost. Only the unmanned MQ-9 Reaper downed by an SA-6 and a minor wing tear on one F-35C repaired in hours. This stark contrast underscored a timeless truth. U.S. technology transforms overwhelming odds into calculated dominance. The clash revealed profound lessons for modern warfare. America's multi-layered doctrine, integrating the USS Harry S. Truman's air wing, F-35C fighters, EA-18G Growlers jamming, and Virginia-class submarine stealth, outshines brute force. The real power lies in the seamless command-control network, fusing satellite feeds, drone ISR, and real-time targeting to outmaneuver foes, like the Houthis' outdated S-300 copy. Provoking U.S. air power invites annihilation without escape. A brutal reminder etched in Yemen's sands. The ripple effects extended far beyond the battlefield. Oil prices spiked 5% in weeks as traders braced for Red Sea disruptions, where 15% of global crude flows through Bab el-Mandeb. Yet, the strikes secured the route, allowing cargo convoys to sail unhindered, stabilizing markets from Europe to Asia. This echoes Israel's July 15, 2025 airstrikes on Hezbollah, signaling interconnected regional tensions. Global economies, from London to Tokyo, felt the relief of restored trade security. Provoking the American eagle means facing its talons, swift, lethal, and unforgiving. Was this response justified? If you were the fleet commander, would you push for more strikes or hold the line? What's the next move to deter groups like the Houthis? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to Navy Air Force for deeper insights into these high-stakes battles. Your voice fuels our mission to uncover the pulse of modern warfare. Remember, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All scenarios are simulated and based on publicly available information, not official reports.